Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we answer listener questions for another installment of Questions and Peter Panswers. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam, Cyber Monday Hummel.
Patrick Silverbells Kazuki.
Ooh, I love that song. It's one of my very favorite Christmas songs.
Silverbells.
Oh, now I don't like it anymore. Weird.
I'll stop singing it so we don't owe royalties on it.
Fair enough. How are you? How was your Thanksgiving holiday weekend?
I'm full, Patrick.
Great.
I am full of thankfulness and full of stuffing. How was your Thanksgiving holiday and your birthday?
Oh, it was wonderful. Thank you for asking. It was chock-a-block full of activities. I finally did the Wine and Dine virtual Run Disney 2-course challenge on Monday and Tuesdays. We did the 10K and the half marathon. That was not a great idea to do on Thanksgiving week, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It was supposed to happen over the weekend of the elections, and I was not emotionally in a great place, Adam, to do it then. So I postponed it a smidge, and I did complete it, though, so that's great. And then, of course, the birthday rolled around. Thank you so much. Tweedledees, Adam got me this wonderful candle set. I believe it was the Christmas package from circa 1955. If you haven't checked it out, get it if it's not sold out already, because it's amazing. Thank you very much for that gift. And thank you to all the Tweedledees for all your wishes, your birthday wishes. That was really lovely.
There was one more present you received that I saw that I think everyone would want, and that was given to you by your lovely husband, Dan.
That's right. He commissioned a local artist to make sort of that, the Haunted Mansion frame, the picture frame, or it's a mirror frame, isn't it? In the ride, I can't remember.
I think it's actually the sign that's outside of the ride.
That's right. The sort of logo to Haunted Mansion, and he wrote the Kazuki Studio on it. So now the Gays Do the D studio is complete.
I can't wait to see it in person in 2 years.
You'll have to get one for yourself, so it's the Kazuki and Hummel studio.
Yeah, we'll have rival Haunted Mansion signs. Mine will be behind me when I record, and yours will be behind you.
And both will have a hidden ghost in it.
That is key.
A Hitch podcasting ghost. Is that a thing?
That is a thing. How does it feel to be 39?
It feels exactly the same. A little bit more back pain, I guess, than last year. But other than that, exactly the same.
Well, you make 39 look fine.
I make 39 look 43.
Those were some hard years you lived, yeah.
It's true. COVID has brought out 4+ years in me.
Well, I'm glad you had a fantastic birthday. I'm glad you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Not a traditional Thanksgiving, but I think we all found ways to celebrate and kind of make it as good as it could be.
I agree. There's that whole campaign going around of like, why are we canceling Thanksgiving? And I don't think we canceled Thanksgiving. We just changed it a little bit. We altered and pivoted for Thanksgiving.
I've seen a lot of messages that have said, these people that are putting up a big huff about not being able to see their family or having to cancel their Thanksgiving plans or their usual Thanksgiving plans. Those people had never worked in retail or never served in the military or were not gay. Because there are people that cannot celebrate Thanksgiving for very legitimate reasons, very awful reasons for year after year after year. And this was just a one-off, hopefully, that we'll be able to look back and say, you know what, we did our part to hopefully help keep the pandemic at bay for many, many people.
That's exactly right. We are not canceling the holidays, folks. We are just keeping each other safe and having a different kind of holiday.
But still, the stuffing, it was there.
Oh, I have a fridge full of stuffing that I plan to make last all week long.
I just saw a post by one of our Tweedles, and what they did was make waffles out of the leftovers. So it's like mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then cranberry sauce is the topping for the waffles.
Such a great idea. I am going to try to make this. Have you had, I think they're called arancini balls. It's basically risotto balled up with cheese stuffed inside and then fried. I'm going to try to put some stuffing inside of one of those and see how that works out for me.
Stuffing balls.
Stuffing balls.
That should have been your middle name for this episode.
Patrick Stuffing Balls Kazuki. That's what it is for now on.
Missed opportunity, but we're embracing it now. Moving on, Patrick, we have a brand new Tweedle to welcome to the podcast. Jeff, who you can find on Instagram at Jeff Ferruzzo. Jeff is a collector of original silk-screened attraction posters, and he found us via last week's episode and our interview with Mike Van Eaton of Van Eaton Galleries.
Well, how do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples? Or silk-screened attraction posters. Can you imagine having an original poster in your home?
I cannot imagine. I have, I believe, like an 18th generation knockoff of some posters. They're just from a calendar that I frame, and I love them. I can't imagine having the real deal in my home.
That history, though.
So much herstory.
Well, welcome, Jeff. We're so excited to have you as a new Tweedle. We'll be sending you your information about when and where you'll get branded later this week.
Oh, dear. But true. Very true.
Oh, Nexium, right? Am I right?
If you can't joke about it, what are we even doing here?
What are we doing here?
Who can say? We have no idea what we're doing here. But I'll tell you what, Adam, before we get into this week in Disney history, we have one piece of Disney history that deserves its own section, its own show, its own week, really. That is the birthday of one Walter Elias Disney.
How about that, Uncle Walt? Another birthday to celebrate.
Another birthday, almost as important as mine, but, you know, it's still worth noting, don't you think?
We all have priorities, and our priorities are with you.
That's right. That's right. Of course, Walter Elias Disney was born on December 5th, 1901 in Chicago, right? Chicago, Illinois.
Yes? I don't know. Yes, he was born in Chicago and then moved to Marceline, right?
There we go. There we go. You'd think we'd know having a Disney podcast, but listen, we just make things up on the fly sometimes.
There's a serious lag when you're digesting stuffing. The blood flow to the brain is not quite what it normally is.
There you go. Blame it on the stuffing. And everyone, stuff yourselves with the celebration of Walt Disney's birthday.
That was some poetry you just produced. Stuff yourselves with the birthday of Walt Disney.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that at 38, but at 39, I have the poetry in me now.
Does this mean that in addition to the 3 pies I still have in my fridge, I now can put a piece of cake on top of each slice I eat?
I think it only means that. I think one must order a carrot cake with cream cheese frosting in order to celebrate Walter Elias Disney's birthday.
Listen, I'm going to have to do it. I'm willing to take one for the team and make that happen.
Thank you. Your contributions are great on this podcast, Adam.
You know, we should mention also on December 5th is the Van Eaton Galleries, Walt Disney, the Man, the Studio, the Parks auction, which we talked about in last week's episode. So if you want to celebrate, log into that auction and buy something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a few items bookmarked on my page already.
Fantastic. Head over to vegalleries.com and purchase a little Disney history.
Purchase a little Disney history. What a great segue, Adam, because we now come to this week in Disney history. Are you ready? Can you handle it?
I don't know. It's been a lot already, but you know. I have coffee with me. Let's march forward.
Great. I have some interesting pieces of Disney history, Adam. I think I'll start with the youngest one as per usual, but the one I think you'll latch on most to. 32 years ago, on November 30th, 1988, the Disney Channel aired the first episode of a new TV show starring Disney darling Hayley Mills called Good Morning, Miss Bliss. The show centered around a junior high teacher in Indiana. It would air for just 13 episodes before being dropped by Disney. That show would then be picked up by NBC and retooled to center around the students rather than the teachers, and would be set in California rather than Indiana. And of course, the show was famously renamed Saved by the Bell.
It's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
Exactly. A young Mark Paul Gosselaar and Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Mark Paul Gosselaar, he was quite a crush for me in my younger days. And you know what? Continues to be, because he looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's still a piece. He can still get it.
He's still a piece? Is that what the kids are saying now?
That's what I am saying.
Still a piece. And we have the brand new series to celebrate, and it's been getting really excellent reviews on Peacock.
I have not seen it yet. But all the gays know we can thank Saved by the Bell for introducing us to Elizabeth Berkley, who would then go on to star in Showgirls. We would not have Showgirls were it not for Saved by the Bell.
She's also on the new series.
Is she really?
Yeah. I mean, what else is she doing?
That is an excellent point.
It's her, it's Mario Lopez, and then a bunch of new kids, including one of the lead actors is trans.
Oh, fantastic. I'll have to check that out.
We'll have our full review on next week's episode.
Probably not. But moving on, Adam, also 32 years ago, just a few days later, on December 1st, 1988, the Walt Disney Company announced a new movie company called Hollywood Pictures. The new company was supposed to be a home for more adult-themed movies like Touchstone, but for movies that were having trouble finding a home. The first film to be released under the new label would be Arachnophobia in 1990.
Classic.
Oh dear. It would then go on to release The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Swing Kids, Evita, and its most profitable film, The Sixth Sense. Disney stopped producing under this label in 2007.
That's quite a lineup of films that they kind of took in. They took in all those orphan films and said, we have a home for you.
Exactly. If there was a script that had some buzz around Hollywood, but nobody really wanted to take a chance on it, Hollywood Pictures would pick it up and produce it. Not to great acclaim, like Arachnophobia didn't do great. Evita did pretty well, but The Sixth Sense was their most profitable film.
I was obsessed with Evita.
I was okay on Evita.
And I'm not just talking about the movie. I'm talking about the person and the movie.
Wait, do you mean Madonna or just the actual Eva Peron?
I'm talking about the movie, and I'm talking about Eva Peron.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I love Evita as a piece and as a historical moment, but I didn't love the Madonna version of Evita.
Yeah, the real weak link there was Madonna.
Turns out you should just cast somebody of actual heritage and not just a blonde Hollywood icon.
But man, that tour that came through a few years ago, did you see that tour, Patrick?
I did not. It was the one show last year that I didn't get to see.
So good. I mean, I like you love the musical too, and that kind of reimagining of Evita was fantastic.
I heard great things about it. Well, moving on, Adam, speaking of great things, 62 years ago, on December 1st, 1958, construction would begin on the famous I-4, or Interstate 4, highway in Central Florida. Of course, it was unknown at the time, but the I-4 highway would end up connecting all of the main theme parks in the Orlando area, including, of course, Walt Disney World. In fact, when Walt Disney was buying land for the theme park, one of the fake company names he would use to purchase the land was I-4 Corporation, spelled A-Y-E-F-O-U-R. That clever Walt Disney.
Not suspicious at all.
Not suspicious, but apparently it wasn't, because nobody caught on for a very long time.
Nobody wanted that swamp land anyway.
It's true. So we can thank the I-4 highway for connecting us to Walt Disney World.
I always associate it with elections because they always say that I-4 corridor right there when they're pointing at maps.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. A significant interstate here in the United States. Do other countries have like historical roads that they celebrate?
Abbey Road.
Okay, fair.
That's all I got.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, that concludes this week in Disney history.
Wow, I really found a way to spin off from any significant Disney topic you brought up. I talked about Saved by the Bell on Peacock. We talked about Evita and the election.
Listen, if we can't talk about other things, then again, what are we doing here?
We should paint in broad strokes. We are more than just a Disney podcast. We're essential listening.
We should just rename our podcast, What Are We Doing Here?
It feels more on brand than calling it Gays Do the D.
It's certainly much more accurate.
Well, Patrick, thank you as always. Fantastic bits of Disney history.
Thank you so much for complimenting my bits.
Patrick, that music can only mean one thing. It is time for Thanksgiving, Thanksgiveaways, and this is our very last Thanksgiving winner announcement for 2020.
It's official, folks. It is the end of the road for Thanksgiving.
What if instead of the theme music we have been using, I edited in, "We'll do it all."
Well, I would like it. I do enjoy some Snow Patrol, but I think we'd get sued.
I just realized I should never be singing over a song in the background. It always sounds terrible. What am I doing? Well, this week we are giving away a Disney Villains Light Up holiday sweater for adults. The woven sweater, it's still woven. The woven sweater features Maleficent, Ursula, and the evil Queen Rebecca, flanked by the phrase, "Naughty List."
Yas, queens.
And if that wasn't enough, there are also flashing lights that can be activated by pressing a button inside the sweater. It's a sweater and it's a show.
Come for the sweater, stay for the show.
Patrick, will you please tell us who the heck the winner is of our final Thanksgiveaway for 2020?
Mother, may I?
You may.
Thank you so much. I think this obviously requires a drum roll, it being our last Thanksgiveaway in 2020. And here we go. Jingle bells.
I appreciated the interpretation you provided us of being absolutely full after an enormous Thanksgiving meal and then transitioning us ever so gently into the holidays? ?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was the sound of a turkey playing jingle bells on a xylophone. That's what I was going for.
Speaking of that turkey, you mentioned a couple of episodes back that you had a turkey in the basement. I see it's no longer there.
I had a turkey farm in the basement, and none of them are here anymore, Adam.
All right.
The interpretation is up to you folks, but here we go with the winner of Week 4 Thanksgiveaway woven sweater. The winner is Chris, who you can find on Instagram, Chris_coming_through. Come through, Chris.
Congratulations, Chris. Wow, what a gift. For you or for someone else? Who knows?
Totally up to you, but I would keep it. It's a great sweater.
I would keep it too. I'd make it a crop top, but I would keep it.
I like that idea. I'd make it a skirt, maybe, that just sort of the arms make a belt then instead.
And because it's woven, have we mentioned the fact that it's woven?
Once or twice, but it bears repeating.
Because it's woven, it would just hug anyone's curves.
Curves and swerves.
Well, Chris, congratulations again. We will be reaching out to you via DM to gather all of your information to get that amazing Naughty List sweater to you ASAP.
Congratulations, Chris, and thus concludes 2020's Thanksgiveaway month.
We'll do it all.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Everything.
Do you think we'll have a gift for December for our Tweedledees, Adam?
Well, I don't want to spoil them. I don't want them to grow up to be brats, you know?
I do want to spoil our Tweedledees because that's the only way we can ensure that they continue following and listening to us.
That's a great point. We're nothing without you. There will absolutely be some kind of giveaway for our Tweedles and probably a matching giveaway for our Patreon family.
So smart. We have to celebrate the leap into the new year.
And now, Patrick, it's time for Holiday Week News.
Holiday Week News. Let's leap into that news, Adam.
Some powerful stories coming up.
And by that, you mean not a lot happening in Disney right now. Adam, I am sorry to announce that after 40 years of working with the Walt Disney Company, Disney Imagineering's executive designer and vice president of creative, Joe Rohde, announced he will be retiring as of January 4th, 2021.
A Rohde-tirement, if you will.
A Rohde-tirement. That's what I do on road trips. Usually I take a roadie with me.
I don't think that's legal.
I mean a Joe Rohde, of course.
So many things to talk about in the car.
So many things to talk about. So Tweedledees, if you don't know, then stop listening. What are you doing here? But Joe is a beloved Disney Parks and Resorts icon. In his 40 years with the company, he has changed the way the world looks at theme parks. He started his career in Disney in 1980 as a model designer and scenic painter for the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. He would later go on to help design the Norway Pavilion in Epcot, the Guardians of the Galaxy update to the Tower of Terror in Disneyland, the Disneyland Fantasyland upgrades, Disney's Aulani Resort and Spa in Hawaii, and of course, most notably, he helped create Animal Kingdom at large, including being the lead designer for both Expedition Everest and Pandora, the World of Avatar. And these are, of course, a drop in the bucket of what he has accomplished and given to us at Walt Disney World and Disney in general.
I truly hope he leaves the plans for fixing the Yeti in his desk drawer.
I imagine he has to at this point. He promised us he was going to fix that Yeti.
You made promises, Joe.
So in an Instagram post, Joe said of his retirement, "It has been 40 years since I stepped foot in the door at age 25, not knowing anything about theme parks, Disney, or what it meant to work for a big company. Every day of my life since then has been a learning experience. I started at Disney as a child, and I learned almost all my life lessons there, developed my confidence, recognized my skills and weaknesses, and went on to work with both and do what could be done." He went on to address the Disney Parks guests specifically by stating, "Working as an Imagineer has made me a good designer, but it is all of you who made me a better person." Rhodey was known to interact with guests while spending time in the parks, engaging in conversations, in queues, or while sitting down for a meal. He became the face and heart of Animal Kingdom. He was also a passionate world traveler, explorer, and animal conservationist. President of Walt Disney Imagineering, Bob Weiss, said of Rhodey's retirement, "Joe Rhodey is a real-life adventurer in life, in art, and in work, whether trekking across the mountains of Mongolia on an expedition to raise awareness for snow leopard conservation, or leading project teams from Animal Kingdom to Aulani to Pandora. Joe fully embodies the true spirit of adventure and exploration. I know he will remain part of our Imagineering family, a mentor to our current and future generations, and currently the best example to our worldwide audience of what it is to be an Imagineer." So we, of course, here at Gaze to the D are huge fans of Joe Rhodey. His contributions to the parks and resorts is vast and breathtaking. Personally, his passion and dedication to the parks is part of what sparked my interest in the Disney World parks specifically. Seeing his love for design and storytelling and his respect for the cultures he was representing inside the parks sort of connected me to the parks, if that makes sense, specifically to Animal Kingdom in ways I am likely not even aware of yet.
Yeah, the very best Imagineers are excellent storytellers, and he got down to the nitty-gritty, the very, very fine details that you wouldn't even really think about, and maybe still don't when you're visiting the parks, but those details are what make the parks and the areas within the parks so special, that commitment to fantastic storytelling.
Absolutely. It is such dedication as an artist to be able to provide something new for everybody every time you're in the parks, if that makes sense. I think specifically with Animal Kingdom, I notice something different every time I'm there, and that is in large part due to the dedication of Joe Rhodey and his team. So, Joe Rhodey, thank you for leaving us with your legacy of excellence.
And thank you for your piercings. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Those discs in your ears, incredible.
I hope those are also left in his desk drawer, just a collection of earrings for the next Imagineer to take his place.
And the plans for the Yeti, please.
And the plans for the Yeti, exactly.
Last week, Brightline and Walt Disney World Resort announced that they have entered into an agreement to construct a train station at Disney Springs. Patrick, the rumors were true. It's happening. A train station in Disney Springs.
I love this idea.
Brightline is a high-speed passenger rail system that is redefining train travel in America. Launched in 2018 in Florida, Brightline was designed to take cars off the road and offer millions of travelers an eco-friendly way to move between the nation's most visited cities. The Disney Springs Brightline station is intended to provide a convenient travel option between Walt Disney World Resort and Brightline stations at Orlando International Airport, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, and planned stations in Aventura, Boca Raton, and Port Miami. Brightline's expansion from West Palm Beach to Orlando International Airport is on track. I didn't even write it that way, Patrick. Brightline's press release said, quote, on track to be completed in 2022. So they're clever. They're a clever form of transportation.
Clever indeed.
The design concept for the proposed station at Disney Springs includes a lobby on the ground level, passenger facilities, and an upper-level train platform. The proposed location would be in close proximity to Walt Disney World Resort's 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and more than 25 hotels. The Disney Springs project is expected to take 2 to 3 years to complete once construction commences. Construction will likely begin after the scheduled 2022 completion of the expansion from West Palm Beach to Orlando International Airport. In a release by Brightline, Jeff Volley, president of Walt Disney World Resort, stated, quote, we're excited to work with Brightline as they pursue the potential development of a train station at Walt Disney World Resort, a project that would support our local economy and offer a bold, forward-looking transportation solution for our community and guests, end quote. So a fantastic solution for anyone, Patrick, who lives in Florida and may want to take a little weekend trip up to Walt Disney World.
100%. I am all aboard on this idea.
Do you work for Brightline? Because that could have been in their press release.
Heyo. Here's what I'll say. I think that this should expand across the country. Can you imagine taking a Walt Disney train into Walt Disney World? That would be incredible.
From the moment you board, who is your bunkmate? It's Goofy. Who's serving your meals? It's Donald Duck. Who is checking your baggage? It's Chip and Dale.
Who's getting drunk with you in the club car? It's me.
It's Patrick. And that's just about as Disney as it can get, folks.
Well, Adam, now that we've thrown away our Thanksgiving leftovers into our mouths, it is officially time to dive into holiday movies, though I imagine many of our Tweedledees have been doing that since August, don't you think?
What else are we supposed to do, Patrick? Projects around the house? That's never going to happen.
No, that's just silly. That's nonsense. So Disney Plus has a host of original content for the holiday season, as well as some classic fan favorites, including Christmas episodes of The Simpsons from all 31 seasons, and the return of the Arendelle Castle Yule log, which, I'll tell you what, is surprisingly relaxing to just have on in the background.
It's funny how anytime you have any one of those kind of Yule log videos on your TV, it tricks your brain. You're like, I feel so warm and cozy.
I can't stop looking at it. I'm like, look at this fireplace we have.
What do you see in the flames, Patrick?
My future.
And?
It is grim. So moving on, new this year to Disney Plus, we have the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which can be seen right now. The special features Rey and BB-8 out on a new adventure where they travel through time and encounter beloved moments in Star Wars history. Rey and BB-8 must make it back in time, literally and figuratively, for the Life Day Fest with Finn, Poe, Chewie, and Rose. Also new this year, not necessarily a holiday movie, but it does premiere on December 4th, Godmothered, starring Jillian Bell as Eleanor, an inexperienced fairy godmother in training who is on a mission to show the world that people still need fairy godmothers. Eleanor finds a letter from a 10-year-old girl in need of a fairy godmother and decides to track her down, only to find that the letter was written 30 years ago, and the girl is now 40-year-old Mackenzie, played by Isla Fisher.
I love the premise. It's great.
It looks super whimsical, and I love both of those actors.
Elf meets Enchanted.
Ooh, there you go. With a little bit of 13 going on 30 sprinkled in there.
Just a sprinkling, just a soupçon of 13 going on 30, yes.
Just some pixie dust. Also new this year is High School Musical, The Holiday Special, which debuts on December 11th. The cast of the series, Joshua Bassett, Olivia Rodrigo, Matt Cornett, Sophia Wiley, Larry Saperstein, Julie Lester, Dara Renee, Frankie Rodriguez, Joe Serafini, Mark St. Cyr, and Kate Reinders, not reindeers, reunite to share holiday memories and sing millions of songs, I'm certain, including The Perfect Gift, a new song which will be featured on the second season of the show. And last but not least, the show I'm most looking forward to is On Point, a 6-part documentary series about a season in the School of American Ballet in New York. The show will give viewers access to the iconic institution and follow the lives of students 8 to 18 pursuing their dreams to become a professional dancer. The older students will be training to land company positions with ballets all over the world, and the younger students will be rehearsing for the New York City Ballet's holiday classic, The Nutcracker, on stage in 2019 at Lincoln Center. On Point will premiere on Disney Plus on December 18th.
Did you know that the version of the Nutcracker that they're presenting contains a motorcycle that comes peeling onto stage?
Now you're talking about center stage, Adam.
Am I?
You might just be. But I'm here for it. As long as Zoe Saldana shows up, I'm interested.
And Donna Murphy.
And Donna Murphy, she'll be there. She'll be there reminding you to just bring it to the bar. Leave it here. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Do you know what makes us super smart?
I have no idea, honestly. I can't wait to hear this answer.
It's just one thing, and it's the fact that we know how to get our Tweedle-Dees to create an episode for us.
Oh, yeah, that is really where we shine, is having other people do work for us.
Exactly. So last week, Tweedledees, if you remember, we asked you to write questions for us for another segment of Questions and Peter Panswers, and boy, did you deliver. You sent us some wonderful questions that I am super excited to answer.
Patrick, the last time we had a Questions and Peter Panswers feature segment in an episode was July.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. I would never kid you, baby.
Well, we've had some exciting episodes between July and now, and we felt that we were in need of a vacation.
That's true. And what is a vacation if not an excuse to have other people do your job for you?
That's exactly correct. We had to do nothing but answer truthfully. And even then, we don't have to if we don't want to. It's our show, Adam.
Yeah, the hard work starts here. It's really answering the questions. That's the hard work. You can submit all the questions you want, but that's easy peasy. The hard work is the answers we will provide.
Capturing our attention with your questions is also the hard work. We're not going to answer every single question, Tweedledees.
No. Your question better sparkle. It better shine like a diamond.
That's right. So if you don't hear your question answered, it means it was not good enough.
And therefore, that means you, in fact, are not good enough.
Just kidding. Of course, we are going to save some questions for a future segment of Questions and Peter Panswers, but you sent us so many that we just couldn't get through all of them.
Yes, thank you for being a part of this conversation, and we can't wait to dive into these questions and give you our answers. And also, Tweedledees, be thinking about how you would answer these questions, and feel free to reach out to us with your answers, because we love knowing what you think as well.
And while you're at it, continue to send us questions for future segments. We log them and we keep them going forward, so it's never the wrong time to send us your questions.
Anytime. We'll take them anytime.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, let's just dig in. What do you say? Let's get into it.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Adam, why don't you take the first question?
All right. This first question comes from Beth, who you can find on Instagram at Bethany_06. Beth asks, if you could have any job or role within the Disney company, what would it be and why?
Oh, within the Disney company. Well, I guess I would run the Disney company.
Oh, I mean, that's way better than my answer. Why wouldn't you go straight to the top?
Exactly. No, I think I would, if I was working in the parks, I would absolutely want to be a safari guide in Animal Kingdom or part of the animal care team. Or if I'm working for the company, I would say I would really love to work on part of their social responsibility team and their philanthropy team, I guess.
That would be such a good role for you. Yeah, you should be a part of that.
Thank you. What about you?
I would like to be, as basic as this is going to sound, I would like to be an Imagineer, but I want to be the type of Imagineer who just provides concepts. Like, I want to I want to be a Mary Blair. I don't want to be figuring out like the very technical aspects of building something. I just want to be blue sky. Like, here's what I would like to see, figure out how to build it type of an Imagineer.
I like it. Hey, I've got an idea. Now do it.
Yeah. And if I look like Mary Blair, so be it. A blonde bob and a pair of kicky glasses and some chunky jewelry. Wouldn't I look fantastic?
You do look fantastic. You're wearing it right now.
Well, I thought, it's a holiday weekend. Why not get dressed up for the recording session?
That's right. Dress for the job you want, Adam.
That's absolutely right. And I want Mary Blair's job. So good thing she's dead. I'm coming for it.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. I think they've filled the position. The position's been filled.
You're right. Rest in peace, you creative angel, Mary Blair. Thank you for everything.
I think here's what I'll say as well. I would also want to be a person who makes candy or like creates those the candied apples. That would be so much fun, I think. I say that now and it's probably tedious after a while, but I love process and I love candy. So I think I would enjoy that job.
Yeah, you can see the work that you're creating as it happens, right? Like you can be like, I have 50 of these done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be super fun.
And would you want to be in a window? Would you want to be one of those people who is on display making the candy?
I wouldn't mind it. I think I don't necessarily need to be on display, but I think it would be fun. I think it's fun when people come up and ask questions about what you're doing. I do that to them, whether or not they want me to, but I'm absolutely involved as a guest when I watch them.
They're sick of your questions. Did you know that?
They're sick of me in general, I think.
So, in short, Patrick has 4 or 5 roles he wants if he works for Disney, and I just want Mary Blair's job.
Know what you want. And I don't know what I want, so I want it all.
All you're doing is dreaming big. That's a good thing.
That's right. Dream big. Speaking of dreaming big, Adam, let's move on to our next question from Seth on Instagram. Mr. Seth Hannon. Seth asks, if you could make one Disney movie into a stage musical that isn't one already, which would you choose? Bonus points if it's a film that originally wasn't a musical, a la Finding Nemo.
Oh, Seth, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of talked about this on the podcast before because we've talked about Enchanted, right? Like that's already a musical, but we've said how much we would love to see an Enchanted Broadway show.
Yeah, I think collectively you and I both want that to happen on stage, and it might actually happen soon. It's going to be a sequel in the movie theater, so I imagine sometimes that means they're going to put it on stage eventually. But what else? What else can you think of, Adam?
Well, I prayed on this one long and hard, Patrick. And I had to go back through the Disney catalog. Normally, I like to come into these questions completely blind and just be like, here's my answer, puke. And I just puke out an answer.
Yeah.
But this one really was the thinker. And so I have a couple of options, but I'm going to tell you my number one choice right out of the gate. And that is Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh, that would be a great one. That's a good idea.
It's got flashbacks. It's got scenes in a Disney park. It's got Sherman Brothers music kind of sprinkled into it already. So like those could actually be songs that are kind of incorporated into the newly composed songs for the musical.
Absolutely. And it's set in the 1950s, 1960s time period, which for me is a great setting for a musical, I think.
Yeah. And speaking of Mary Blair, how hot would it be if the set was kind of like Mary Blair inspired all the way throughout?
I love it. That's a great idea. I'm mad I didn't think of it.
Well, it's our show, Patrick. We both thought of it. We are a hive mind.
Disagree, because if it flops, I don't want to have anything to do with
it. You are financially responsible for this musical now.
I own 51% of this musical.
All right, Patrick, I have more options, but I want to hear yours first.
Oh, okay. So I think my top pick would be The Swiss Family Robinson. I think that would be a really fun musical to put on stage.
The ostrich song?
Gary the Gay Ostrich could finally have his moment.
Oh my God. Yes.
No, I think that would be really fun. Like just a family musical. It's already got a lot of characters in it. There's a lot of adventure happening. There's pirates. There's action. There's not so much romance, but we could make that happen.
There's a little bit of romance in there. And what's so smart about that one, too, is that it's primarily set in one location. So that's easy peasy.
Exactly. Just one enormous tree that could slowly like build as the show happens.
Like their fondness for the island is building. Like their sense of family is building. You know, they weren't so close before they got to that island, Patrick, but then they became quite close because they needed to rely on each other.
Exactly. You just stole the script from me and ran with it.
It's going to be a hit.
So thank you for answering my question for me, Adam.
And if that one flops, we just pivot right into a restaging of Tarzan.
Maybe they run and rep with each other. They just use the same set.
Perfect. Wow.
Yep.
Are we Broadway producers?
We are, as of today.
Well, that's a good thing because I've got other ideas. I'm just going to run these past you really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Onward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. It would be a lot of paint. It'd be like a Shrek situation.
Yeah, Shrek, a very wicked. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of makeup going on the people.
I'm just thinking about the money, Adam, and that's going to be an expensive musical to produce, but it'd be fun.
That's why you're here, to keep me grounded. Return to Oz.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought you were going to keep me grounded on that one, but you are all in on that one?
I think they can only improve on that movie, so I'm here for it.
The Mombi Mambo?
A lot of Wheeler situations happening on the stage.
Well, I mean, we had Starlight Express. What's the difference?
Absolutely. I want to see some tap dancing Wheelers.
And my last choice, and I think this one could actually be right up there with Saving Mr. Banks, The Princess Diaries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be on board with that one.
I'm feeling kind of a Mean Girls type-esque show with that one.
Yeah, I can see that happening. That's a good one. If they could flesh out the story a little bit more, I could see a Sword in the Stone happening on stage.
That was one I thought of too, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to flesh it out a little more Camelot vibes for it.
Pre-Camelot.
Right, yeah, it would be pre-Camelot, but still.
Pre-Cam.
Well, now we have to move on. You've ruined it.
But that would sell tickets. Patrick.
It would sell tickets, you're right.
Thank you for acknowledging that. All right, who are we hearing from next? We are hearing from Jamie, who sent us an email. Jamie asks, how will you treat yourself once you're back in a Disney park post-pandemic?
How will I treat myself? Oh, Jamie. You know what? I think I'm going to disrespect myself, I think, with the amount of food I'm going to throw into my mouth when I go to a Disney park, finally. And the amount of time I'm going to spend there, I'm going to disrespect everyone else's time because I'll just be gobbling it up with food and hugs and the amount of money I plan to spend on merch.
You're going to disrespect your bank account.
I'm going to disrespect my bank account as well.
Yeah. Jamie, I'm going to treat myself with kindness because I just need to do more of that in my life, you know?
What a sensible answer.
Live, laugh, love, right?
Sure. Why not?
No, I'm going to treat myself, I think, with a special dining experience. I like to usually plan one per trip that's a little bit more elevated. So maybe like a California grill situation during the fireworks, which I've never done before.
Same here.
Or classic, I've seen it before, but Matthew has not. Heading on out to Fort Wilderness and checking out Hoop-de-Doo Review.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to do that as well. I have not seen that yet.
That's such a great first night activity. Like when you get in and you're not going to the parks that day, just head on into Hoop-de-Doo Review, have a nice meal, and then get all jazzed up, have some sangria, and get excited for experiencing the parks the next morning.
Lovely. What park do you imagine yourself going to first when you go back?
That is always the question, even if it hasn't been a long time. What park do you hit up first?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to that, Patrick. I mean, if it's the trip that we both take for the 50th anniversary, what do you foresee being your first park?
I kind of am in the habit, for whatever reason, of going to Hollywood Studios first, because I think it's one of the more fun parks. But also, after I see the castle for the first time, I feel like that's all I need on my very first trip back. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be such an emotional experience. I don't want it to happen right away. I want to sort of ease into that magic.
That's a smart plan. I like that.
Thank you so much. But an argument could be made for just wanting to go, quote unquote, home immediately and just see the castle and give it a hug.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to cop out of this one. And it's not even a Tweedle-submitted question, so I don't feel that bad. It's a Patrick-submitted question.
Yeah, no need to answer anything that Patrick asks.
But your answer was very good. Hollywood Studios seems smart.
It is. It is smart.
All right, Patrick, what question are we hitting up next?
Well, let's go with a longy question, Adam. We got a couple of questions that have multiple answers to them. So let's dig into one of those. What do you say?
Let's go on a journey.
A journey indeed. We have the lovely Auntie Myrna emailing us saying, hi.
That's exactly how I read it, too.
And that's all she says, actually. In her email. No, just kidding. She goes on to say, using a Disney or Pixar movie, which title would best describe you in your teens, 20s, 30s, and for you, Adam, your 40s? She done went there.
Barely in my 40s. I've just kissed my 40s on the cheek.
Just give it a little smooch. She goes on to answer the question already for herself. So here's a little advice that maybe you can take on your own journey through these movies. She says, for myself, my teens would be Big Hero 6, specifically the scene when Big Hero comes home drunk and stumbles up the stairs. Interesting. 20s would be Big Hero 6, specifically the scene when Big Hero comes home drunk and stumbles up the stairs. 30s would be Tangled with a dash of Big Hero 6. Love it. And 40s is giving me Moana realness with clearly some Big Hero 6 moments. Auntie likes her bevies. XOXO. Thank you both for keeping us Tweedledees sane and happy.
Thank you for listening and for submitting this question, Auntie Myrna.
Mm-hmm. So let's start with our teens, Adam. What's your teen Pixar or Disney movie?
This one's easy for me. It is Inside Out, absolutely.
I had the same answer, exactly.
Conflicted, you don't know who you are, you're trying to figure things out. Your emotions are at a 20 out of 10 all the time.
Yeah, I might still be in Inside Out with with anxiety and and all that, but for sure in my teens, I was absolutely an Inside Out character.
Yeah, it's always with you, Inside Out. It's always going to be a part of you, a part of me for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now moving on to our 20s.
Yes.
Who were you in your 20s, Patrick? What Disney or Pixar film?
I said Moana for this one because I feel like in my 20s, I did a lot of exploring, just with my identity, but also even just physically. I moved around a lot. I lived alone a lot. And so I think Moana would have represented me the most.
I love that exploration, taking the confusion of your teens and putting it into action. Who am I?
Who am I anyway? Am I my resume?
What's that from?
That is a picture of a person I don't know. Come on, you got it, Adam.
Keep going.
It's from a chorus line.
Oh, okay, yeah. Classic Disney film chorus line.
You invested heavily in Chorus Line, didn't you, when it first came out?
I certainly did. All of those unitards, it was my idea.
But you were recommending that the men not wear dance belts, I think.
No dance belts, no pants even. Unnecessary.
Oh, dear. Where are we anyways? In our 20s. We're in our 20s.
That kind of mentality works for my 20s. But yeah. I chose for my film that represents me in my 20s, Enchanted.
Ooh, okay. Okay, you're coming out of the cartoon.
Yeah, and facing reality and, kind of living in an adult world, but not quite being an adult and kind of acting like everything's fine, like a lot of the time. But in fact, things were not fine.
Well, and you've crawled out of many sewers after a heavy night of drinking.
So many sewers. And not just literally, Patrick. Yes, figurative sewers.
Dancing with those rats.
It's a way of life. It's what young people do. It's what I did. Enchanted.
There you go. And you were literally in New York City as well.
I was for a while. Yeah. And being chased by a witch.
I've never apologized for that fully. I'm sorry about that.
You know what, though? It brought us closer. It was like, who is this beast? And suddenly there you were, and I got to know you.
Yeah.
And I learned about the reasons why, and now I embrace you.
It's true. And both of us have taken many men away from Idina Menzel.
Yes. Taye Diggs.
So many times.
We both had our way with Taye Diggs.
We had our Tay with Diggs. That didn't work. It didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. Let's move on to our 30s.
All right. What Pixar or Disney film represents you in your 30s?
Well, speaking of Idina Menzel, I said Frozen 2 with a question mark on this one because I feel like my 30s, I'm starting to finally like sort of come into my own and understand who I am and what my pros and my cons are, you know, and sort of embracing both. So I think that's where I'm settling into right now.
That's a great choice.
Thank you.
Mine is way more superficial, but I chose Beauty and the Beast for my 30s.
At what point in the movie?
All points, really. I mean, I never felt probably more confident about how I looked and how I felt mentally than I did in my 30s. It's all gone to hell since then. But in my 30s, I was like, this feels good. This feels very right.
Yeah, that's fair. And you do talk to a lot of inanimate objects as though they're real.
Well, that continues. Yeah, but I especially did it in my 30s. Yeah. Anytime I went to a gay bar, it was talking to inanimate objects.
It was just you bursting through doors going, I want adventure in the grapevine somewhere. Every time you entered a room.
Yeah. Those were the glory days, the 30s.
Those were the glory days. Well, I'm not in my 40s yet. I'm almost there. One more year to go. And I imagine that Up would be my 40s because I think that's kind of the end of it all for my 40s. It's my last hurrah. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit in my chair and let the balloons take me away.
Just you and Ella.
That's what I imagine. What about you? What are your 40s bringing to you so far?
Now that I'm looking at this, it sounds really sad. I didn't mean it to sound this sad, but WALL-E?
We both went pretty grim on our 40s, didn't we?
We sure did. You know, I just think about like, and maybe this is pandemic life, but you know, I'm alone and I'm cleaning up others' messes and I'm just heading towards being on a rascal.
All right. Here's hoping that our 40s brings us a new Moana phase in our lives.
Yeah, I need that. I haven't even hit Moana yet. You've passed Moana. You're looking back at Moana, and hopefully I'm looking forward at Moana.
There you go. I like it.
Oh, pathetic.
What a journey. What a journey we've gone on.
Thank you for really making us look back and reflect, Auntie Myrna, and feel awful about where we are.
It's a grim future. It's a grim future.
Well, Patrick, here's a question just for you, and it's a really technical question. So we're going to get serious here. We're going to get smart, and we're going to get smart.
It's about time. It's about time.
Thought I was going somewhere with that.
Nope.
Going to try to find a rhyme, but you know what? I petered out. James sent us an email. And James asks, just curious on where you get your historical info. I'm looking for a site that has an RSS feed or an API.
Oh, James, I make it all up, actually.
Perfect.
None of it is true. No, I two things. I scour the internet and just look up like a date and comma Disney. That usually brings me some fun results. There's also a website called This Day in Disney History, which I reference a lot, but I would be careful because sometimes the facts aren't accurate or as accurate as you want them to be, or they don't go deep enough into the actual story. So it is there. It's calendared. I'm not sure if there's an RSS feed on it, but it does have a calendar, This Day in Disney History through the decades. So I usually reference that if I can't find anything.
Fantastic. That's it. Thanks, James.
I mean, straight into the point. Well, let's go with one, since you gave me one for just me, let's go with one that I believe originated in your household, Adam.
Oh, yes. Matthew needs to be a part of the podcast, apparently.
Matthew must be a part of the podcast. I'm all in on that. Matthew asks, if you could go to a Disney park with a queen from any season of RuPaul's Drag Race, which queen would you choose and which attraction would you be most excited to experience with them?
That's why I date him.
Disney's Drag Race.
Hard-hitting questions like that. Patrick,
Yes.
answer him. Answer my boyfriend.
Answer Matthew. I think I would have to say Shangela. I think Shangela would be the most fun to go to the parks with. And we must go on the roller coasters simply because you know that she's just going to scream, hallelujah, the entire time.
So on brand for her, yeah.
Yeah, I think she would be a hoot, though, to go to the parks with.
She would be joyful, and she would be fun to be in queues with because she would just start up a conversation with anyone.
For sure, she would be your eternal wingman or wing queen.
That is an excellent choice, Shangela. I think I would take Jujubee because, as we all know, a large part of going to a Disney parks is amazing people watching, and I feel like Jujubee is always going to have something to say about someone or something, and I'll be peeing my pants laughing.
Yeah, for sure. She's always going to have a comment about somebody.
And I think I'd like to take Jujubee to a show like Carousel of Progress or Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo, something like that, where she can give me her play-by-play commentary in my ear while we watch the show.
I want her to read every scene on Spaceship Earth.
Yes, please. Or just like hop out of the Omnimover and play along, be an animatronic.
I like it. This seems accurate. I mean, we should also bring along Nina West because she loves Disney so much.
I thought about Nina, but the thing about Nina is that we know that she loves Disney. And I think we've chosen queens that we don't know for sure if they love Disney or not. And we're getting an outsider perspective about the park's experience from them. I don't know.
Right. Nina's already there, probably.
Nina's there just following us. So sad.
Right.
So sad.
Come on, Nina.
Stop riding our coattails, Nina.
Aim higher.
No, Nina obviously be amazing too, but Nina's like at our level or beyond regarding Disney enthusiasm. And I think I want to go with someone who's kind of like new to the experience or not as familiar with the experience.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Matthew. I'll give you a smooch on the cheek later for that wonderful question.
Aw.
Another question, I think just for you, Patrick, from Daniel, our friend Daniel, who you can find on Instagram at DancoDirect. Daniel asks, are Tweedledees invited to Patrick's amazing gay Disney cruise, referencing last week's Quick D, where you said you were going to go on a Disney cruise to celebrate your birthday?
I think we can both answer that one. And the answer is absolutely not.
You are not invited, no.
In fact, Adam's question precluded with you can only bring one friend.
Did I say that?
Maybe that's just what I heard because I only have one friend.
I think that's where it went. I said you could bring a crew, and you said, oh, you're my only friend. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. I love you so much. If we ever aren't friends, I don't know what I'm going to do. You are my North Star, Adam. Thank you.
Uh-huh. I don't know that I said that as much as I didn't say that, but let's just go with it. No, of course, everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. All Tweedledees are welcome.
Can you imagine if we got to the point someday where we could have like a Tweedle cruise, a podcasting Tweedle cruise, where we just record an episode or two and then just have fun the rest of the time?
That would be the messiest cruise that's ever happened.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't get around to recording the episodes, but that'd be okay.
That's okay. That's okay by me. I look for an excuse not to record.
Why did we start this, though? Really?
Who knows? Maybe we can find an editor while we're on that cruise, though.
Oh, yeah. If anyone out there wants to become our editor, we're becoming too famous to do it ourselves.
No, we're just becoming too old to do it ourselves. We can't fit in enough naps.
That's true. We need help. We need help.
In so many ways.
Great question, Daniel. And yes, everyone is welcome. Please join us on the cruise.
1 bottle of vodka per guest, though. That's the payment.
Oh, I was going to say, that's all they're allowed. But yes, as a payment, absolutely.
Oh, heavens no. 1 bottle a day, at least. Let's move on. Adam, we have a question from Matt on Instagram, Matt_goes_about. Matt says, if you were the love child of 2 Disney characters, what would they be? For real, not what you wish, what you are. Matt goes on to say, my current working version is if Stitch and Winnie the Pooh had a love child, it would equal me. Very keen and literally up for anything, but also a bit tired and wants to eat and cuddle. Oh, same, Matt. Same.
That's a really good, honest look at yourself, Matt.
Absolutely. Adam, who are you the love child of in Disney lore?
Now, this one was also a thinker, Patrick, because there's so many characters, and I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of self-reflection in a mirror, literally. I did a lot of mirror work.
Great.
Judging myself.
Great.
A lot of crying.
Oh, dear.
I chose Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast.
I can see it. 100%. No explanation needed.
Yeah, if you know Cogsworth, that's kind of me. And Heimlich from A Bug's Life.
Come on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love food. It is a problem, okay? But I always, no matter how much Thanksgiving pie I'm eating, I'm always like, there's a butterfly on the other side of this. I just know it.
And that's your 40s. You finally get your wings.
That's right. I get my wings. They don't really fully, they're not able to lift me up. You know, like I still need assistance in that department. But yeah, Cogsworth because I'm a little high strung and persnickety and have my thoughts and feelings about things. And then Heimlich because food and the eventual desire to be a beautiful creature.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That is an honest answer.
Thank you. Thank you. What about you? Which two characters are you the love child of? Is that what he said? The love child?
Yeah. I don't know that this would work as a love child because it would be gross, but I chose Piglet for my first one. And I think it's because at first I come across, like when you first meet me, I think I'm a little timid and initially shy. I'm ready to go along with what everyone else wants to do, but I don't necessarily have an opinion on the subject, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it depends on how many drinks you've had, but yeah.
It depends on how many drinks I've had, and I'm short, so that works out well too, I guess.
And entirely pink.
And entirely pink, and I live in a tree.
So it's really characteristics of Piglet and the Piglet lifestyle that you are embracing.
Fully embraced it. And then I think the second one, I'm going with Belle in that I'm not super interested in the traditional way of living your life. Does that make sense? And I think I'm a little curious, but I could also spend all day by myself just reading books and talking to candlesticks, I guess. I don't know. I find Belle, the more I think about her, to be the ultimate introverted extrovert.
Yes, I see it. Yes.
Does that make sense? In that, like, she doesn't necessarily need to be a part of the conversation, but she will join the conversation, but she is just as happy being by herself.
So the fact that she's the most beautiful woman in the village has nothing to do with it?
I mean, it doesn't not have anything to do with it, but I didn't say it outright because Belle wouldn't have said it outright.
That's true. Good for you. I love this for you, Patrick.
Thank you. I also look ravishing in blues and yellows.
Mm.
I look ravishing in ball gowns in general.
Well, you're in them so often.
So often. It's either ball gowns or nothing at all.
Those are great choices. I think those encompass who you are.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down for real when you think about Disney characters.
Yeah, the interesting thing about them is that they're never so complex. I guess they maybe are in later films or more recent films, I should say, but it's hard to like narrow it down to just an attribute or a few attributes that a character might represent in an animated film.
Right. Yeah. Like in reality, I'm probably just all of the characters in Winnie the Pooh because they collectively make one whole person.
Yeah. And you're frequently wearing half shirts.
Yes. And no pants.
No pants on Patrick.
So I'm just the 100-acre woods in general.
You're a full forest of complex characters, Patrick.
Just full of wood. What?
I was looking for an opportunity to get back there, and you gave us that opportunity. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
And thank you, Matt, for that excellent question. Very interesting. I'd be interested to hear what some of our Tweedles think about who they are.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of some of our Tweedles, we have a question from Rodri. You can find Rodri on Instagram at RodMeetsWorld. Rodri asks, one of these Disney movies has to be erased forever. Which do you choose? Peter Pan, Tangled, or The Little Mermaid?
Oh, Rodri, that's rude.
So rude from Rodri.
Yeah. I think just because of it being racially problematic, I think we have to get rid of Peter Pan.
Thought you were going to say Tangled. No, just kidding. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say something brave right now. Peter Pan is not my favorite film in general, even if the problematic portions were removed. Like, it's fine. It's not one I go back to over and over again. I get why people really love it, but compared to Tangled or The Little Mermaid, I mean, Peter Pan, you have got to go.
Wow, that's bold. That's bold. I actually love Peter Pan. It's one of my very favorite stories, I guess. The film, because of that one part, is problematic, though. So that's the only reason I would have to say, let's get rid of it and maybe remake it as a different movie called Neverland or something.
You have a mug.
I do have a Peter Pan mug, and I have the Peter Pan Minnie Mouse main attraction doll.
No, I know you love that film, and I agree. The story is great and has a great message. I don't know, just the animated film is just doesn't do it for me. But again, all of you Peter Pan lovers out there, all of you Peter Panners, if that's what you're called, I get it. I get why you love that film. It just doesn't really do it for me.
I think it's ready for a redo from Disney.
It's getting one, a live action one anyway.
That's true. That's true. I don't need it to be live action, though. I actually wish they would just do a redo animated version or a Pixar version of it or something.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I wonder if they would ever redo an animated version of one of their animated films.
That's a question that we should dig into for another episode.
Well, you're the head of Disney, so can't you just greenlight that?
Today, I'm just an animal care expert, so I can't.
Oh, okay. It's interesting how you can just change roles when it's convenient for you.
Yep, that's what I do. That's what I do. Well, moving on, Adam, let's address a question from one of our frequent contributors to Gays Do the D, JJ, on Instagram, jsquare3. JJ asks, what historical figure should get the next treatment written by Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. And I imagine then produced by Disney, obviously.
We got to tie it to Disney somehow.
It's true.
Coming to Disney Plus in 2024 is a brand new theatrical production or film written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it is called what, Patrick?
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but I would love sort of a story about women in general, like historical women throughout U.S. history. So I'm thinking Sacagawea and Harriet Tubman and Susan B. Anthony and Sandra Day O'Connor and, well, frankly, Kamala Harris. I think that would be a really interesting story to weave together.
Okay, I'm calling it First Ladies.
First Ladies.
Not because they're tied to a president, but because they're that kind of like firsts in what they did.
Mm-hmm. It's called Woman Up, a historical musical.
I love that. I love that. Woman Up, a historical musical, leaving you glass reeling.
Oh, dear.
And then when you say that, you have to do a death drop while you say it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's an idea. You will not be asked to co-produce that one.
Are you saying that as an animal care expert, or are you saying that as the head of Disney?
The head of Disney now. I have that new hat on.
It's very convenient.
Thank you so much. My other idea was, I think it'd be super interesting, and I think he could crush it, and I'm surprised it's not on stage yet, a story about the Black Panthers. I think that would be really rife for a Lin-Manuel Miranda musical.
I'd love to hear that score.
I mean, it's going to be amazing, and I think it's a really good way to teach people the actual history of the Black Panthers. I think a lot of people have a misconceived notion of what the Black Panthers are and what they did and what they stood for and stand for today. And I think it would be important to see on stage.
Yeah. How about a historical musical about Marsha P. Johnson?
That is an excellent idea.
I don't know anything really about her story aside from her stance at Stonewall and what she meant to the community, but I'm wondering if there's more to her history, like her childhood, like that. Like, give us some of that.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure. We could call it Brick.
We could call it Brick. Yes.
Well, come on. She threw the first brick.
She is the brick thrower. She is the person who fought back. Yes, Brick, the Marsha P. Johnson historical musical.
I like this. These are all great ideas. I would see all of these on stage or in a movie.
Putting our producer hats back on, we are ready to go Broadway.
Listen, I don't want to say that we're geniuses, so I'll let someone else say it in the notes for next week. So someone just write that in for us. Thank you so much.
You could also say it in the Apple Podcasts comments section.
It's just going to say, though, I don't want to say they're geniuses, period.
Someone's going to do that now, Patrick.
I think that would be amazing. Someone has to do that now.
Just attach 5 stars to that, please.
Exactly. It's all about the stars. Say whatever you want, as long as you give us those 5 stars.
Controversial and sexy. 5 stars. That was an excellent question, JJ. We need more historical musicals or theatrical experiences.
Yes. That's another one I want to hear back about from our Tweedledees.
Yeah, I suppose we could have tied it to Disney too, right? There's so many Disney people that could have a show about them.
Oh, there you go.
Rhodey.
It's just a bunch of old white men, though. No one wants to see that musical.
It's been done.
It's been every musical up until today.
Yeah. But thank you, JJ. Thank you for submitting that question. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Our very last question for this episode, Patrick, was submitted by Mish, who you can find on Instagram at SharkBoyToronto. Mish says, hello, Adam and Patrick. Just discovered your podcast. Oh, welcome, Mish. When you celebrated the 100th episode and became an instant fan of yours. And now I need to know more about you. So recently I was chatting with Flora, Fauna, and Merriweather, and they all agreed to give you 3 free passes for your hard work on the podcast over the last few years. Flora is giving you a fast pass for the attraction of your choice in any of Walt Disney World's parks. Anything you want, no lines for you. Which one do you choose? All right, so this is 3 different questions, so let's start with that. Flora's giving you a fast pass, Patrick, for the attraction of your choice in any of Walt Disney World's parks. Anything you want, no lines. What are you picking?
Oh, gosh. Generically, I'm just going to get on Flight of Passage, I think. I hate waiting for that ride, and it's one of my favorite rides, so I would just choose that one. I know it's everyone's going to say that, but I'm on board.
I think that's a great choice. It's so emotional, such an emotional experience. You'd just be sobbing all day long.
Yeah, it's not my favorite ride, but it is a great one that I don't want to wait for.
Yeah, in that same vein, I'm going to choose Tower of Terror, I think, where I just can ride that as much as I want. Thank you, Flora.
Thank you so much, Flora.
All right, moving on. Fauna loves a good cocktail, so her gift is a free drink in any establishment at Walt Disney World. The sky's the limit. What will you be ordering and where?
Ooh, now that's a thinker. Actually, you know what? It's not. I'm going to go to the Enchanted Rose within the Grand Floridian, and I'm going to order several Manhattans, I think.
Fauna said the sky's the limit, so you can have as many as you want. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to order a pitcher of Manhattans.
So good. Delicious. I have not been there yet. I can't wait to go. I am going to go to the Nomad Lounge. Everyone is shocked. And I'm going to get, I think it's the Snow Leopard. Is that the one I like with the watermelon in it? Is that what it's called?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Watermelon, delicious. And is it tequila? It doesn't even matter what the drink is. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's kind of like a watermelon margarita up, though.
And I would love to sit on that balcony with Fauna and just have a few laughs and a few cocktails.
I like it. Great selection.
And Merriweather, Patrick. Merriweather is hungry, so her gift is a free meal in any of the restaurants around Walt Disney World. I'm sorry, Patrick, but a popcorn stand won't work for you. Wow. Mish is really laying it down hard. So with the freebie, where do you ask the limo driver to take you, and what do you order on that menu?
First of all, a popcorn stand works for everybody, Mish. How very dare you? But in the interest of answering correctly, I think I'm going to Boma in the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I absolutely love that restaurant.
That's a really, really, really good choice.
Thank you so much. And specifically, we're going to go mid-afternoon when the sun is still up, and we're going to sit at a table right next to the window, and we're going to order or get pounds and pounds of that peanut butter rice.
Yes.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
All right. This one's a tough one because there's so many wonderful food locations in Walt Disney World, but I think I'm going to have Meriwether take me to
the cafeteria in All-Star Sports.
You know what? When you know me, Patrick. And that is it. No, I think I'm going to have Meriwether take me to Homecoming.
Oh, yeah. That's a great answer.
Is it? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out on something by saying Homecoming. I mean, I love Homecoming, but is that the one?
Yeah, why not? You love it there. I love it there too. I think everyone loves it there.
Well, then I feel validated. And I'm going to get some kind of like fried chicken sandwich. I know they have that kind of like fried chicken sandwich situation, or the donuts, maybe the donuts with it, the chicken, the fried chicken and the donuts, Patrick.
Delicious as the day is long.
A flight of moonshine, Patrick.
A flight of moonshine and that hummingbird cake that you love so much.
Well, we're going to wrap up with that. We're going to have to share at Meriwether because after fried chicken and donuts and the drinks, I cannot go all in on my own on a piece of hummingbird cake. But yes, that hummingbird cake is the business.
It is. It is a business anyways.
Mish wraps up by saying, keep up the great work. It makes my Mondays better. Big hugs. Thank you so much, Mish. That was a great question to end this segment, Patrick.
It was a great question. All of the questions are great. Thank you so much, Tweedledees. We loved reading those and answering them.
And we hope you had some fun listening to our answers. And as we said earlier, please share your answers with us. We'd love to know what you're thinking and feeling about these questions that were submitted. You can do so by reaching out to us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can always leave us a voice memo or email at info@gazetothed.com. That was a lot of questions to answer, Adam. That was a lot of questions to answer.
It was. I find it odd that no one asked how we stay so trim and hot.
I don't find that super odd because the answer is it's natural.
It is genetic.
Thank you, God, for all this spa.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam.
Something about losing control.
That's right. Little Brittany for your nerves.
We have reached the end of this episode, and that means that it's time for Quick D. And since we've answered so many questions already, we are going to kick Quick D Classic to the curb this week. Say, no more questions. None.
The questions and answer segment is closed.
Although technically, I guess what we're going to be doing is also a question with answers.
The question and answer segment is reopened. I'm so nimble.
You are able to pivot to any situation, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
This week, we are going to be doing Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill.
Ooh, I like it.
It's been a while. And for those that don't know, it's like the game Marry, Kill, right?
Sure. Yep.
Only instead of you're Disney Plus and chilling, but they're synonymous.
They're synonymous with each other.
So there you have it. Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill with a holiday twist. We are now fully in the holiday season, and that means we need to celebrate by recognizing some classic holiday films produced by Disney. So each of the characters we're going to be mentioning will be somehow tied to a Disney holiday film. Patrick, why don't you go first? Give me your selections for me to either Marry, Kill, or Disney Plus and Chill with.
Adam, I'm going to give you movies instead of characters, entire movies that you either have to marry, kill, Disney Plus, and chill. Are you ready?
Now talk about being nimble. Yikes.
Yeah, you have a whole cast of people that you're going to have to Disney Plus and chill with. So answer carefully.
All right, I'm game for this. I've taken on more people before. You know what I'm saying? It's There's been a lot of people in the room before. Yeah.
I do know what you're saying, and I'm frankly upset by it. Here we go. You have to choose from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Disney's Noel, or The Nutcracker.
Okay. Well, I want to start off by saying you clearly just Googled Disney holiday movies because I did the same thing, and those are the first 3 movies that pop up.
That is 100% one I've done.
What a unique situation. Like, could there be 3 completely different movies that I have to assign these roles to?
Yes, there could be.
There could be. Yeah. Okay. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Noel, and The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I haven't seen 2 of these, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to instantly start off by killing The Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
You and the rest of America have done the same.
Just based on Keira Knightley's vocal performance alone, which I've seen in the trailer for it, I believe this film needs to be laid to rest.
Yes, and it's a situation where if one dies, they all die. So you've killed off her specifically, killing off the rest of the movie.
I hate to see Helen Mirren going, and I hate to see Voice of an Angel or the Dear Lord, Morgan Freeman, going. But yes, that is my choice to kill. I'm sorry, The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. You didn't kill it at the box office, though, did you?
Well, they killed themselves at the box office, that's for sure.
Okay, so between marrying and Disney Plus and chilling, I have The Night Before Christmas and Noel. Okay. I can't just kill Anna Kendrick?
You cannot. Not in this game.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm going to marry The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Because I've seen it, I know what I'm getting, and I believe that Jack would be a provider.
Fair enough.
I'd like to be a ghoul that stays at home and takes care of the housekeeping, and he could go out and bring home the rotted bacon.
Boy, oh boy. That sounds like a dream.
I'm trying to live in that world, Patrick.
I like it. Listen, you're committed.
Thank you. That means I'm Disney Plus and chilling with Noel. And this is really for one reason alone, and that's Bill Hader. I think he is very, very attractive and very funny.
Okay. I think he is very tall.
Well, that's great too.
He's unexpectedly attractive, I think.
Can you imagine having just had relations with Bill Hader and turning to him in bed and he just suddenly launches into Stefan?
That doesn't do it for me, but listen, this is your Disney Plus and chill experience.
This is post-coitus, Patrick. He's giving you Stefan and making you laugh. So you have that high from doing it, and then you also have that high from just him being a delightful comedian.
Okay, great. Listen, I am laughed at after coitus a lot, and so I don't know that I need it more. So,
I'm so proud of us using the word coitus. It's really not a great word, is it?
It's not. It implies grossness, I feel like.
Yeah. All right, Patrick. Well, that was a great selection of movies from you, but I'm going to stick to one movie. And that movie is Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh, dear.
And I'm going to give you the characters that represent the 3 ghosts. Okay. So we got Jiminy Cricket as the ghost of Christmas past. We've got the giant from Mickey and the Beanstalk representing the ghost of Christmas present. And we've got Pete as the ghost of Christmas future. Who are you going to marry? Who are you going to kill? And who are you going to Disney Plus and chill with?
Boy, oh boy, what a selection.
It's tough, isn't it? They're all so sexy.
They really are. They really, really are.
And do we know, does the giant have a name?
Willie. It's Willie the Giant.
Willie. Yes. Excellent. Well, that might inform your decision. Willie. Big Willie. Huh?
Well, this is a real thinker. I'm going to go ahead and marry Jiminy Cricket, obviously.
So annoying. He's going to constantly be telling you what the right thing to do is.
And that is absolutely what I need in my life, Adam. No one has done that thus far, and I am in trouble.
Is Dan failing in that department?
He's usually providing me the alcohol, so yeah.
I like that. Neither one of us mentioned alcohol, and yet I was also thinking it's the booze, right? We're talking about booze.
1,000%. Everyone knows me. That's not up for debate. Okay, now I have to kill someone, and Disney Plus and chill with someone, I'm going to go ahead and Disney Plus and chill with Willie the Giant because there will be so much food involved.
During?
Yeah, you betcha. We're gonna make it happen on that ham, Adam, on that giant ham. You know?
Oh, it's glazed, Patrick.
It's glazed, and we've all seen him take the meat off of a chicken bone with one fell swoop, and that is intriguing. You know what I'm saying?
You're just going to be a skeleton by the time it's finished.
That's right. Wreck me king, you know?
What a way to go.
Oh, dear. Which I guess means I'm killing off Pete, the ghost of Christmas future. And I think that's just because I already know that I don't want to see my future, so let's just kill the guy who's going to tell me what it's going to look like. Surprise me. I don't want to know.
That's really very sensible of you.
I don't need him to ruin what I already know to be true.
Plus, a cigar smoker. Do you really want that with you the whole time?
Nobody has time for that.
No. Also, he's a dog.
Is he a dog? I thought he was a cat.
No, he's a dog, right?
Oh, Tweedles?
He's a cow. He's a cow is what he is.
No. How very dare you. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.